The disappearance and death of Clark Atlanta student Alexis Crawford.
Authorities found her body today, 9 days after her disappearance. CBS 46 was first on the scene and first to report the discovery of her body at a park in DeKalb. Investigators say her roommate, Jordan Jones, and her roommate's boyfriend, Barron Brantley, confessed and actually led them to her body.
We are still waiting on a mugshot of Jones, but we have plenty of information on Brantley. He has been in and out of jail for years for violent charges, including domestic violence and cruelty to children. He is currently behind bars tonight.
Let's take you back to how all of this started back on October the 27th. That's when Alexis Crawford filed a police report. She alleged that she had been sexually assaulted by Brantley at her apartment.
Then 3 days later, a surveillance camera captured what we now know are her final moments. She was reported missing the very next day.
Then on November the 5th, officers and investigators canvassed the area near her.
A young woman disappears, and the last place she was seen alive was inside her own apartment. Not outside, not on the street, inside, with someone she trusted. And for days, the person who knew the most was the same person asking for help to find her. Make that make sense. We're in Atlanta, Georgia, late October 2019. 21-year-old Alexis Crawford is a senior in college, getting close to graduation. She's focused, driven, and very clear about the kind of life she wants to build. She's studying criminal justice, not just to get a degree, but because she genuinely wants to help people and make a difference. She comes from a big, tight-knit family. 5 brothers, 4 sisters, parents who stay involved in her life. The kind of family where checking in isn't optional, it's just what you do. Alexis talks to them constantly. Calls, texts, FaceTime, every day. She's known for being confident, thoughtful, and grounded. Someone who knows right from wrong and stands on it. A lot of that comes from her dad, who works in law enforcement. That influence shaped how she sees the world and how she handles situations. At school, she's doing well. She has friends, a routine, and a plan. And at home, she shares an off-campus apartment with her roommate, Jordan Jones. The two are close, not just people splitting rent, but real friends. Alexis even brings Jordan around her family during holidays. Thanksgiving, Easter, she's included. That says a lot. So from the outside, everything looks stable. School is on track. Home life feels safe. The people around her are familiar. But there's one more person in that space. Jordan's boyfriend, Barron Brantley. And just a few days before Alexis disappears, something happens involving him that changes everything. October 30th starts like any other day. That afternoon, Alexis is on FaceTime with her mom and her sister. She's in good spirits, laughing, talking, nothing feels off. At one point she asks her sister to send her some money through Cash App. It's casual, normal. Later that evening, her sister texts her again, asking what she has planned. It's homecoming weekend, so there's a lot going on around campus. Alexis responds simply, nothing. She posts on Instagram shortly after, replies to a message not long after that. And then, just like that, everything stops. No more texts, no more calls, no more activity. Now at first it doesn't seem like a big deal. People get busy, phones die. But the next morning comes, and her phone is going straight to voicemail. That's not normal. By November 1st, Alexis misses class. Then she misses work. That's when it shifts from maybe she's busy to something is wrong. Because Alexis doesn't do that. She doesn't disappear. She doesn't skip responsibilities without saying anything. Her family knows that. So they report her missing. And now, what started as silence turns into a search. As the missing person report spreads, police begin putting together the last known timeline of Alexis. The last confirmed sighting comes from security footage at her apartment complex. After that, her roommate Jordan fills in the gaps. She tells police that she drove Alexis to a liquor store around 11:30 that night. Not far, just a quick trip. She says she saw her again about an hour later before going to sleep. According to Jordan, when she woke up the next morning, Alexis wasn't there. At first, that explanation seems reasonable. Maybe Alexis stepped out. Maybe she went to meet someone. But as police keep looking, things don't line up. None of Alexis's friends saw her that night. No one recalls meeting up with her. No parties, no visits, nothing. And then there's the details about where Alexis had been sleeping. Not in her bedroom, in the living room. Now that raises a question. Why would someone suddenly stop sleeping in their own room? Anyways, while police are trying to piece that together, the search grows. Her face is everywhere. Social media picks it up. The hashtag #FindAlexis starts spreading. Volunteers are out looking, especially near her apartment complex. But days pass, and there's still nothing. No bank activity, no phone usage, no sightings. And for someone who stayed in constant contact with her family, that silence starts to feel heavier. Now, here's where things take a turn. During the search, a statement comes out from someone close to the family. They mention that Alexis had recently gone through something difficult, something no woman should have to go through. At the time, details weren't given, but investigators already know what that means. Just 3 days before Alexis went missing, she had gone to the hospital and filed a report. She believed she had been sexually assaulted. And the person she accused? Baron Brantley, Jordan's boyfriend. Let that sit for a second. According to Alexis, the three of them had been drinking that night in the apartment. At some point, Baron made unwanted advances toward her. She rejected him. She tried to separate herself, went into her room, then into the bathroom. After that, her memory becomes unclear. When she woke up, something wasn't right. Her clothing had been disturbed. Baron was there, not fully dressed. And before anything else was even said, he stated, "I did not rape Alexis." Now hold on. Nobody asked that yet. Alexis took it seriously. She went to the hospital. A rape kit was done. And the results came back showing Baron's DNA. So now the situation inside that apartment is completely different. Alexis is uncomfortable. She doesn't feel safe. That's why she starts sleeping in the living room instead of her bedroom. But here's the part that really doesn't sit right. Jordan knows about the report. She knows what Alexis said happened. And still, she allows Baron back into the apartment. Not just for a visit, he stays there for days, while Alexis is still living there, unaware that he's even back. Make that make sense. So now you've got 3 people in one apartment. One feels unsafe. One knows why. And one is at the center of it. That tension doesn't just disappear. It builds. And by the time Alexis goes missing, that situation is still unresolved. With this new information, investigators shift their focus right back to the apartment. Because now, this isn't just a missing person case. There's context, there's conflict, and there are only a few people who know exactly what was going on inside that space. Police bring Jordan in again. At first, she admits that she and Alexis weren't really speaking anymore. There had been tension between them. But as detectives keep pressing, the story starts to crack. Details don't line up cleanly. Certain things feel held back. And eventually, with pressure building, Jordan leads investigators to a location about 11 miles away from the apartment, a park. That's where they find Alexis. Her body had been placed inside a container and left in a wooded area. At that point, the case changes completely. What people were hoping was a missing person situation is now a homicide. The cause of death is determined to be strangulation, and almost immediately, police move forward with charges. Jordan Jones, Baron Brantley. Both are arrested and charged with murder. As more information comes out, investigators piece together what they believe happened that night. Sometime in the early hours, a confrontation broke out inside the apartment. It started between the two women. Then Barron got involved.
Tonight, court documents revealing how a Clark Atlanta student and her boyfriend turned into accused killers.
Stunning new information detailing how Alexis Crawford was murdered. CBS 46's Brittany Miller is live in Fulton County at the jail there with all the details. Brittany.
Tonight, Jordan Jones and Barron Brantley are sitting inside of this jail charged with murder. And right now we're going through these court documents and these police reports which reveal new, just stunning details about the senseless murder of Alexis Crawford. Reading each line of these arrest warrants will send chills down your spine. It says Barron Brantley strangled Clark Atlanta student Alexis Crawford as her roommate, Jordan Jones, put a trash bag over her head.
You're talking about layers of violence.
CBS 46 crime analyst Cheryl McCullum reacting to what police say happened next. Officers believe Jones and Brantley, who were also in a relationship, then put Crawford's body in a plastic bin and dumped her in a Decatur park.
That took a lot more time than you think it did.
And what about the moments before this gruesome murder? Police say Jones and Crawford went to the liquor store. That's where we see these last images of Crawford caught on surveillance video. It says shortly after, Crawford and Jones got into a physical fight at their apartment. Police say Brantley, the boyfriend, jumped into that fight, grabbing Crawford by the neck and choking her until she died. All of this happening days after Crawford filed a police report claiming Brantley sexually assaulted her.
People don't look like killers.
And we've learned that both Jones and Brantley have had run-ins with the law before. We do know that Brantley has a long list of priors, and Jones, according to her father, is actually on probation for a DUI out of Michigan. We are live in Atlanta tonight. Brittany Miller, CBS 46 News.
And what began as an argument turned physical. According to their statements, Barron grabbed Alexis and choked her. At the same time, Jordan placed a plastic bag over her head. They describe her struggling to breathe. Afterwards, they moved her body into a bin inside the apartment, cleaned parts of the living room. Then, around 3 a.m., surveillance footage shows them bringing a car close to the building. Police believe that's when they transported her body. They drove to the park and left her there. Then they went back home and went to sleep. Later that same day, they went out to a Halloween party like nothing had happened. Jordan even texted people about Alexis being missing, posted on social media, asked for help finding her, all while already knowing where she was. Now at this point, it's not confusion anymore, it's clear. Both of them plead not guilty. Charges include felony murder, false imprisonment, and concealing a death. In court, more details come out. Messages suggesting attempts to cover up evidence, plans to leave town shortly after Alexis died. At one point, there are complications with Barron's confession being ruled inadmissible. Delays follow. Years pass without a trial, and the family is left waiting. Alexis was 21. She was close to finishing school, close to starting the life she had been working toward. Instead, her story ends inside the place she lived, at the hands of people she knew. Her family continues to speak about her, to remember her, to push for justice. And cases like this leave a question that doesn't go away. How does something like this happen in a place that was supposed to feel safe? Thank you for watching this episode of Archived Crime Files. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new case. Your support helps us continue bringing you real crime stories, detailed investigations, and gripping cases from around the world. Let me know your thoughts about this case in the comments below. And remember, the truth always leaves a trail. See you in the next episode of Archived Crime Files.